If you're a millennial in your mid to late 30s, you probably missed the simpler days of social media when MySpace ruled. It was the popular spot in the early 2000s. MySpace was all about having a good time and connecting with others in a positive way, and the only thing that could possibly cause you to worry was deciding your top 8 friends list. MySpace was one of the world's introductions to social media before anyone had even called it that. Unfortunately, after reaching its zenith in 2008, MySpace mysteriously disappeared. Maybe you've also wondered, at least once, what the heck happened to MySpace? Well, in today's video, we will investigate what really happened with Tom from MySpace, and we'll discuss the factors that pushed MySpace off the front page of the internet. Watch the video until the end and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thomas Anderson was born on November 8, 1970, in the city of San Diego. He came from a family of successful entrepreneurs on his father's side. During his time at San Pasqual High School in Escondido, California, Tom worked as a computer hacker under the nickname Lord Flathead. The FBI once launched a raid on Tom because of his involvement in breaching the security of the Chase Manhattan Bank. In 2003, Thomas Anderson, Brad Greenspan, and Chris DeWolf created MySpace. Tom was promoted to president and chief strategist of MySpace. He became known to the public as Tom from MySpace, MySpace Tom, and My Buddy Tom, due to the fact that he was the first friend that was automatically added to the accounts of every new MySpace user whenever they created their profiles. The concept of MySpace was inspired by the social network game Friendster. It was essentially a copy of the site, minus some unnecessary features. MySpace officially went live on the internet in January of 2004. And amazingly, after just 1 month of being available online, more than 1 million users had registered for the site. By November of the same year, the total had reached 5 million. In 2006, MySpace surpassed both Google Search and Yahoo Mail in terms of traffic in the United States. According to estimates, in June of that year, MySpace accounted for close to 80% of all traffic across all social networks. Google earned a $900 million advertising contract with the News Corp division that housed MySpace in August of that year. After that, in June of 2007, they released MySpace TV to compete with YouTube. However, despite their quick expansion and success, there remained a shadowy aspect to MySpace that just could not be overlooked. MySpace was around in the early days of the internet, when safety precautions were still being worked out. So, it was an attractive place for more sinister people. Hence, it was discovered that thousands of people who had been convicted of sexual offences were using the platform. Both MySpace and its users have initiated legal action in several jurisdictions around the nation. MySpace's reputation was irreparably damaged when parents insisted that their children should not use the platform. Finally, in 2008, the fatal blow was dealt when a promising new service named Facebook began accepting sign-ups from the general public. Prior, it was only for college students. Facebook, unlike MySpace, had a clean layout, was easy to navigate, and did not have any ads. Thus, Facebook overtook MySpace's position as the largest social network in a couple of months and has held that position ever since. One major blunder Tom made during all of this was that MySpace had the option to acquire Facebook in its early years for $75 million, but he chose not to do so, leaving Mark Zuckerberg holding the bag. As time passed, Tom and MySpace made some efforts to turn things around, such as making some changes to its leadership and workforce and launching MySpace Music. None of these initiatives were successful. MySpace was no longer the cool place to be, and revenue continued to plummet as Twitter became the dominant social media platform. Although there were several causes that contributed to MySpace's demise, one idea is that the corporation was never able to figure out how to innovate effectively enough to keep up with its industry rivals. MySpace remained static and never really made a return, despite its efforts to roll out many redesigns, while both Facebook and Twitter continued to drop big updates and features that served to improve the social web. When it became evident that MySpace was unable to compete with Zuckerberg's sophisticated Facebook, Tom made the choice in 2005 to sell the doomed website to News Corp for the outrageous price of $580 million. After 2005, Tom continued to serve as president of the site, a position he held until his retirement in 2009. In April of 2009, News Corp decided to replace Anderson as president. By the year 2010, he was no longer the default buddy, and in his place was a profile that was named Today on MySpace, abbreviated as TOM. So where did Tom go? Well, Tom has since then pursued his dream of living a hassle-free life. Following his retirement, Tom is pursuing a profession as a vacation photographer in Hawaii, where he is living out all of our fantasies. Over 670,000 people follow his Instagram account, at MySpace Tom, because they can't get enough of his breathtaking travel photographs from places like Thailand, Bhutan, and the Maldives. When it comes to Facebook, Tom harbors no ill will. He even has his own profile on Facebook. Now, however, as Mark Zuckerberg and his Facebook empire have been under public scrutiny, the topic of MySpace has begun trending on Twitter, and users are requesting that the platform be revived. And ever since Elon Musk officially finished his successful multi-billion-dollar buyout of Twitter, people have been pining for the simpler and more modest social media period of MySpace. It seems that Elon Musk's concept for Twitter will not be adopted by users at this time. Musk's biggest idea is to start charging people $8 a month just to have a verified account, which does not appear to be attracting many buyers at all, given that Twitter has been free since its inception. Many people think that Twitter can't be saved at this point, especially since Musk fired a large portion of Twitter's workforce. Since Facebook isn't as popular as it used to be, and TikTok and Instagram are still too new for some users, the idea of going back to MySpace is starting to sound more appealing. After going to Burning Man in 2011, Tom got obsessed with photography, and he is now using the millions of dollars he gained to basically live life to the fullest. Tom is now recognized as a complete globetrotter, traveling to various hot locations and music events. He now lives in a mansion in West Hollywood that once belonged to Drew Daggett, a member of the band The Chainsmokers. The estate is valued at $3.8 million. Even though Tom has been absent from the world of social media for a number of years, this does not rule out the possibility that he might one day make a comeback. Take, for example, Elon Musk provided the following statement in response to the results of his own poll on the site, after people chose not to appoint him to the position of CEO of Twitter. As soon as I find someone who is naive enough to accept the position of CEO, I will resign from my position. After that, my only responsibility will be to oversee the software and server teams. The response that Tom provided was, "Depends who you get to run it." After that, he also sent a further response to Elon's tweet by attaching an image of his MySpace profile and hinting that he would be interested in the position of CEO. Tom has amassed a significant amount of wealth at this point, which is $60 million. Additionally, he is an investor in both SpaceX and CRISPR at the present time. As far as his creation of MySpace's current state is concerned, News Corp sold it for $35 million to Specific Media in 2011. In 2019, due to an unsuccessful server move, MySpace lost 12 years' worth of material. That means that any media files posted on the site between 2003 and 2015 were permanently lost. Now, MySpace isn't what it once was, and it doesn't have the active user base that it had when it peaked in 2008. But it's still there, and if you have a passion for music and shows, you might find it somewhat interesting to check it out. Well guys, that's all for today's video about Tom from MySpace. Have any of you guys used MySpace? Give us your opinions in the comments section. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. See you in the next video. Until then, cheers!